podcast with Miss Madam Merkaba.
I just want to relax with
Madam
you.
Merkaba.
Chill.
Madam
keep it real
Merkaba.
sweet. That's really all I want to do. Can we talk? Let's talk. Relax. Let your hair down. And just really, really enjoy each other's company. I enjoy being here with you. And I hope you feel the same way too. Can we do that? Madam Merkaba.
Give me one moment. Oh my God. Girl, they be doing the fees, girl. Good evening, good morning, good night. Girl, you know, I like those little gadgets. Anyway, excuse my voice, honey. When I say I've been talking a lot, okay, I've been talking a lot. And I want to stop by here tonight because, of course, not only is it the full moon, but there's a lot of other astrological keys going on. Okay. Now, I won't get too deep into what I want to talk about because I just feel like most people are not ready for that type of teaching when it comes to this sector of YouTube. I have a real big problem when people are claiming to be astrologists or spiritualists who know their power. I mean, even to use the word witch, right? A witch is someone who is wise, someone who knows their position and you know which place to be in and which places not to be in. But I find it very disturbing when I meet men and women, mostly women though, when it comes to the spiritual practice, you know, the men that are in this sector are a little more cunning. They're a little more sneaky with how they, you know, put out their knowledge. And from what I was told, it's like sex cults and stuff. But when it comes to the women that I've seen, not all, but we'll say most of them, there seems to be a little discrepancies in their stories. And of course, going into the natals, going into studying the astral, because of course, we are avatars of our higher self, right? Of course, we are astral beings, right? And this is why when we dream, we are dealing with our true self. We're astral beings. So, with that being said, when you're studying the astral being, you understand astronomy and astrology. And this is why a lot of people who are trying to find out who they are, the real self, They use astrology, horoscopes, and all these means to find it. And unfortunately, because there's so much, I would say boredom, because this started happening a little before the panoramic, but during the panoramic, there's been a lot of fakeness that has been coming out. And you have these people that are coming out and they're trying to convince the world because they have on, dreadlocks, or because they have crystals on or copper on, that they know themselves. And I'm not here to like cut in on people and to bash people, but I'm definitely here to enlighten people. And regardless of how I present my information, it's truly to enlighten people, to see what it really is. Okay, what is really going on? Once you know your story, which is told through your natal chart, right? And this is just one of the things of how your story is told. Once you know the placement of the stars and the planets and the trines and the conjunctions that was going on in the solar system, which is the system of self. Oh, come on in here. Because we all experience the same thing, but we have a different understanding of it. When you are experiencing things to give you insight of yourself, once again, studying the stars and the moons and the planets and the celestial energies, highlights of yourself are revealed, whether it is physical, spiritual, subconscious, or conscious. Aspects of yourself are revealed, and some of the aspects that are revealed, you may not even be aware of it. So when I see these people saying that they are leaders, spiritualists, high priestess, spellcasters, whoever, whatever, and they're out here stating that they also know who they are, right? I have Scorpio placement of the second house and I got all this Leo energy, all this other bullshit that they be talking about. It's like, but why are you still addicted to drugs then? Why do you still drink? Why do you still have sex with random people, right? Because, of course, all this is linked to trauma, regardless of how you slice it, regardless of how you come into the information. All of this reveals trauma, right? And even if you are someone who was like, I don't have trauma, I had the perfect life, I just got into it because I saw other people do it. Okay, even if that is the case, once you became aware of the astral self, now certain addictions and certain, inflictions starts to fall away because you understand that everything in your life happens for a reason, and everything that happens in your life contributes to your main story, the main event, right? So, like I said, I have a hard time trusting. I have a hard time believing individuals who claim to know their placements. I'm a Gemini rising, Virgo, blah, 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 blah. But it's like you're still going through things in your life that are minute compared to the main event, compared to the big event. Knowing your placements in your chart, knowing how energies are in your chart will reveal to you how to conquer these energies that are causing you inflictions that are leading to addictions. Knowing the placement of these energies will also, like I said, unlock your higher self. This is something that the religions wanted to do. This is their main purpose, right? Going into Christianity, going into Islam, the Islamic belief system. It was to unlock yourself, your spiritual self. But I think people got lost in the translation. And then ego stepped in. And then manipulation came about. And everything had to be a controlling factor. We need to control how people think, how people move. And then, of course, going into the government. This is why they separated state from religion, because religion is its own government. And so stepping back into my original purpose of coming on here, as I always say, and even what is here, your story. My job is to help enlighten you. My job is to help motivate you, to help encourage you, to seek after yourself, to seek after what your purpose is, to live out every experience you're supposed to experience in this life, and to conquer every experience that you are to experience in life. As I stated, We all go through things for a reason, and nothing happens by accident, right? They say God makes no mistakes. And that goes along the same lines of once you know who you are, now it's time to let go. Now it's time to identify these attachments that are causing you trouble. And so once again, going into smoking and stuff, oh, it's a natural thing, blah, 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 blah. But of course, drinking water is a natural thing. Why not replace that with drinking more water? We know that exercising releases, endorphins and dopamines and also the good stuff, which is more better than any weed could give to you, or even, what nicotine could do for you. But once again, this goes into not really knowing how to identify these issues in your life, not really knowing who you really are, and not really caring either. I think a lot of people don't care. And this is why they're so combative, right? They play this game with people. Like, let me play this game. Like, I was watching something the other day where the guy was acting like he was drunk around these drunken people just to see how far he can go with it. And when one of the person realized that he was not drinking, like, wait a minute, how did you get drunk? Why are you getting tipsy? We haven't seen you pop nothing while you've been here. That's when the guy got irate and was like, fuck you, and do. And so all that goes into, they know that people are in trauma. They know that people are looking for a way out. And many people who are also dealing with trauma that don't want to resolve their trauma, but want to get money. They want to get a hustle. They want to, they want to scam. What is the scheme of the day? They're coming out. I've been through this. I knew this. I knew that. Once again, my question is, if you know your placements and you know who you are and you know your power and you know your position and you know your hierarchy, you know where you rank in the spiritual realm, why are you still putting toxins and poisons in your body that is actually causing your spirituality or your spiritual body or astral body to die off quicker than the physical body? Because you go through two deaths. And we talk about this before. You go to two separate deaths, physical and spiritual. And sometimes people go through it, separately. They'll go through the spiritual first and then the physical. And it should be the other way around. So those are things that I kind of, question. Going even into the whole thing about, knowing your story, as I was, titled the video. Knowing your story, knowing what your placements are. This will go into financial issues. This will speak about, love life. This will speak about how your challenges in love lives will come up. This goes over into spiritual inheritance, physical inheritance. It goes over health concerns. It goes over a whole bunch of things, knowing your chart placement. And of course, if you don't know, I do charts, twospiritmystic.blogspot.com. You can also send me an email and we can discuss those things. But either way, knowing your story, okay, puts you in a place of power. It gives you the ability to conquer anything that comes your way. Knowing even that everything has a season, and this is something to even think about too. When I saw this, and this was moved me to do this video today on IG, I saw a person, a reader, however they want to call themselves, was talking about how they're feeling all the, the lunar eclipses and also the good stuff. And every other posting on their IG is literally them smoking a blunt. And I was thinking to myself, like, but damn, when it comes to knowing your natal, you know what your inflictions are, you know what your trauma are, right? And then you know that in order for you to evolve into your higher self, you know that you have to work through these traumas. So you understand that there's you have 5 traumas and there's only one of the traumas blocking your finances. So you're going to clear out that trauma and let the other trauma stay where it's at. There's no doing that. It's all linked out. And even going into the sense of that every event that is going on in the solar system, we all are experiencing it. So just because there's a full moon in Scorpio does not mean that people who are Scorpio are going to really feel this full moon, lunar eclipse more than people who are not. Everybody is experiencing it. Everybody is going through the energies. And even going to people who are actually Scorpios, a lot of them are not even aware of the energies that's going on. A lot of them are not even going to be affected by it, because once again, it's about you knowing yourself, you knowing your, your connection with self, and you working through them. So I definitely feel like all of this goes into, and going into even the Mercury retrograde. We talked about this for one of my classes where we said the Mercury retrograde is really, a chance for you to redo things all over. So literally, if you were, every single day moved in the energy of being honest, being direct, being, open, not having regrets, then when the Mercury retrograde come around, you may only have a few technical issues, but you're not going to have, relationship dramas coming up. You're going to have none of that stuff. Okay. So once again, knowing your story, your natal chart, is definitely important, and it's definitely effective, especially going through the times that we're going through now, especially going through the the times that are to come. You're going to be winning because you understand how energies are around you. And that's why I told one of my students, a couple of weeks ago, I even came on here and told y'all publicly, when you learn this information, how are you applying it to your life? When you're learning this information about deities and energies and frequencies, how is this benefiting you, though? You're not going to sit here and tell me that you are aware of, Benjamin Franklin and all the great things he did for people and da 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 da, da, and you're also a spiritual person, but yet you don't know how to tap into that energy to benefit from the frequency of Benjamin Franklin. You're not going to tell me that. You're not going to tell me that you are connected to your ancestors, and your ancestors were powerful enough to, conquer whatever it is that they conquered, achieve whatever they were able to achieve, but yet you are not achieving, you're not conquering. You're not going to sit here and tell me that you're also working with your ancestors and you don't really know who you are, where you come from, or where you're going. So, like I said, it all goes into your story. It all goes into what you and who you are and where you are to become. Like I said, life is about definitely challenges. It's about growing, but it's also about unlocking things about yourself that you never, ever, ever knew. And it's going to benefit you in the long run. So, of course, going into people who are going, with issues, money, whatever the case, however the case, we mentioned before, this is the year of the 5 and the 7. We also told people of particular signs that you are going to have a lot of challenges this year. Stay focused, stay positive, stay present, and it will all go to the Bayside. Some people get caught up, and I really encourage you all out there to cut off your connections with people that do not mean you well. Cut off your connections to people who are not wanting you to win, who are not wanting you to become who you are. The ones who are telling you, no, it's too soon, you're not strong enough, you're not old enough, you're not whatever the case, however the case. Cut those people off and watch how it all works. Watch how it all works out for you. Going into even challenges, whether it's legal matters, love matters, however, whatever, pay attention. Right now, there's a lot of stuff going on lunar-wise, right? So we're getting visions, we're getting downloads, and people are missing it because they're getting distracted by shit that does not matter. Once again, when you experience things in the next coming days, months, and years, ask yourself, how is this benefiting me? The TV shows you watch, how is this benefiting me? The man and woman you're dating, how is this benefiting me in the long run? I know they say don't think about your future, but definitely in 6 months realistically, what are you expecting to advance about yourself? Because life is about advancing. Okay, what are you expecting to gain from this experience? And if you tell yourself you don't know, or I'm just going to go with the punches, you're further away from knowing your story than you think you do, than you think you are. Once again, learning your story, how your natal chart works, how your spirits work, spirit guides, all this good stuff. This all goes into play. This will be of great benefit to you, and it'll help you to conquer all of the stuff that you go through, all the experiences that you're having now, and when others come, okay? Because they're going to keep coming, okay? So that's it for now. And I'm actually glad for the first 20 minutes that I'm able to get off of here. Okay. Love and light. Thank you so much, of course, for watching, being connected. Thank you to my supporters, gifters, contributors. I really appreciate all of you. You know, of course, we're going to be coming back very, very soon. And we're also going to be presenting some teas that someone going to. Okay. So, anyway, bye for now. Love and light.